take you straight through to the other side of the hairpin instead of trying to get all the way around with a sick bike.
Asking, look, there's number 21, Tom Tunstall on the Dukes Motorsport Honda going through, and that will put Tunstall up to 16th place. Ahead of him, Hudson Kenner leading the Mirror.co.uk Evo class, ahead of Gary Johnson and Steve Brogan, who's bravely battled through to 19th on bike number 19.
I'll tell you.
And James Hayden has got hold of Tommy Bridewell, who's just retired the Key Garage Honda. James.
Yeah, just riding my own race really, sort of set a pretty good pace, and about sort of like, 12 laps to go, if something like that, the exhaust cracked on the bikes, just lost all power, and just sort of wasn't no good really. So.
Well, at least that means you'll get it right for race 2, yeah?
Yeah, it's an easy fix, hopefully my lap times are good enough to get a good bit on the grid, and see what we can do in race 2. And just race 2 is all or nothing now. This is
Okay, thanks a lot. It's back to you guys.
So Tommy Bridewell then, Key Garage Honda. Well, he will be starting from the second row of the grid, so he's got himself a good position to sprint off from. And Tommy Bridewell then, and it's amazing how something as simple as a split exhaust can look so terminal, James.
Yeah, well, when the exhaust splits, the hot gases, remember, they are red hot. They, 700 degrees centigrade or something, depending on where it is on the exhaust. The hot gases escaping burn whatever's around him. In that case, it was class 5 of the seat.
Tommy Hill, he lost 0.3 of a second on the last lap. He's lost another almost a half second on that lap. And here comes James Ellison shaking his head as he rolls into the Swan Honda pit. And that Honda's going nowhere.
It isn't. I'll tell you what, before we get, I think obviously our man down there, James Hayden, you just saw him, was going to be after a word with Ellison. I've got to mention, what a good ride from, in 5th place, Dan Linfoot, and 7th, Lawrence Baz. That's fantastic. We haven't seen much of them, but what a good ride from the pair of them.
And for Rob McElnay's Motorpoint Yamaha squad, brilliant ride. Now then, Laverty is beginning to launch things. Look at this, closing stages of race 1 here of the MCE Insurance British Superbike Championship in association with Pirelli, and there are points where Tommy Hill is really quick off turns and opens up a gap.
He's the fastest.
But generally, his lap times have...
and that was Laverty. Did you see that back in, Jack, turning into Sunny 2? That was a bit dodgy, was that he lost the rear. That lost him a little bit of time.
And we've just heard that James Ellison, front tyre puncture, James. How rare is that?
It does happen. It does happen.
Now watch this, the Works Crescent Suzuki, James, it dips into the hairpin, and then Laverty is pretty close, but watch the gap open up when Hill strikes the throttle and hurtles off onto the
You
straight.
always get that out of the slower corners, Jack, because a distance, a time distance, if 1 second at a slower speed looks closer than 1 second at a faster speed. But what I've got to say is Laverty looks mega at the slower corners, and Hill looks to pull out a little bit on the faster stuff.
And here we have it once again. He's closed up through that slightly sinuous section at the end of the front straight. Laverty's right with him.
Yep, this is it. It's the last lap. If he's going to do it now, you wonder just how hard Laverty's going to want to push, knowing that he's going to take... Oh, here he comes! He's going to
have a look
for
it. And I'll tell you what, don't worry about him backing it in. He was doing that all through qualifying, and again this morning during warm-up. We're on the final lap. And Michael Laverty, the 28-year-old from Toonbridge in Northern Ireland, attacking Tommy Hill from Linkfield in Kent.
Trouble is, this is the bit of the track where Tommy Hill's really quick. Drags a bit of time out around this fast stuff. Now what Laverty's got to do, get on the back of Tommy Hill early on in the complex if he can, and then try and have a go up the inside at the hairpin. That's his only chance now. I don't think it's close enough, Jack.
Out of Sonny out. He could be by the time they've gone through here. He's looking for that right-hand line. He wants to try and outbreak him into the complex. He's looking to line it up. Now, where will he try? They've got the hairpin.
He's got to go up the inside of the hairpin. Tommy's defending.
Tommy goes for the wide line to defend it. Michael Laverty goes around the outside.
He's going to turn it inside.
The relentless touch. Suzuki tight. Hill guns the Works Crescent Suzuki across the line. It's Hill on the right. Laverty on the left, and Jack Valentine holds his hands aloft because the Works Crescent Suzuki of Tommy Hill has just gone across the line in front. Stuart Easton rips across the line for Swan Honda. He's 3rd. Great ride by Simon Andrews. Dan Linfoot in 5th place, number 99, ahead of Josh Brooks, number 4. Who got the better of Loris Baz on that in the closing stages. John Laverty, number 10, Bill Base Kawasaki, rips across the line 8th ahead of Chris Walker, SMT Honda, number 9 in 9th. Gary Mason 10th. Kianari is in 11th place. Peter Hickman, an excellent 12th. And then Yukio Kageyama, I think, may have disappeared on that last lap because there's Adam Jenkinson crossing the line on the second field base.
I think you're right.
Tom Tunstall is 14th and Hudson Kenner 15th, and the winner of the mirror.co.uk Evo class. But look at the joy there in the Works Present Suzuki camp. Big beefy Jack Valentine enjoyed that, but that was a close run thing with Philip Niels and Hector Niels' relentless Taz Suzuki. Wow. So Tommy Hill has opened up a championship advantage on the first time of asking on the brand new top 6 shootout.
Yeah, Rutter's hope of getting some points failed. 23rd, that was a big hope from Michael Rutter, I've got to say.
So we have now, after the, it's amazing, isn't it? We have Hill in first place, we have Laverty second, Brooks is 6th, Chianari 11th. So Chianari will only get 5 points out of that. Josh Brooks will get, I think, 10. Tommy Hill, of course, will get 25. Michael Laverty will get 20. And we lost. I'm looking for Yukio Kageyama. He crossed the line in 16th place. He dropped 4 or 5 places on that final lap. And here over the beautiful country scene of North Yorkshire, Tommy Hill wins the first race of the MCE Insurance British Superbikes ahead of Michael Laverty's relentless Suzuki. Stuart Easton, Swan Honda 3rd. Simon Andrews, MSS Colchester Kawasaki 4th. Dan Linfoot, Motorpoint Yamaha is 5th. 6th for Josh Brooks, HM Plant Honda. 7th, Loris Baz in his debut, the 17-year-old Frenchman, Motorpoint Yamaha. 8th, John Laverty, build-based Kawasaki. 9th, Chris Walker, Storymate.com, SMT Honda. 10th, Gary Mason, MSS Colchester Kawasaki. Ahead of the 11th place, Yuichi Chianari, came through from 22nd. Peter Hickman, Ultimate Racing Yamaha. Adam Jenkinson's build-based Kawasaki, and the Dutson Motorsport Honda of Tom Tunstall. And the winner of the mirror.co.uk Evo class on the split lap Aprilia, Hudson Kenner, ahead of Yukio Kageyama. Steve Brogan nicked 2nd place ahead of James Hillier, Bournemouth Kawasaki. Aaron Zanotti, Chris Burns 20th on the second split lap Aprilia ahead of Pauli Pekkanen, James Edmeades, and the unfortunate Michael Rutter running so strongly until 3/4 distance when he slipped off the ridersmotorcycles.com Ducati. So this is how it looks. The standings after 20 of 26 races. Tommy Hill has 550, Josh Brooks 534, Yuichi Chianari 530 points, 1 ahead of Michael Laverty 529. Michael Rutter on 510 is stuck there, so too Alistair Seeley 505. And at the rest, John Laverty 154, Stuart Easton closes the gap on 144, James Ellison 121, so unlucky to go out there. Chris Walker is still 10th on 104, ahead of the 11th place Simon Andrews 83, Tommy Bridewell 82, Gary Mason 78, ahead of Yukio Kageyama and Dan Linfoot. The first race at Croft then, and an extravagant start, bringing together the 2 Suzukis of Tommy Hill, number 33, and number 7, Michael Laverty, who emerges through the Clervaux turn. One person who doesn't make it very much further though, David Johnson, crashes out after clipping the back wheel of Tom Tunstall's Honda. Meanwhile, once the pace car goes in, Tommy Hill snatches the advantage. Jack Valentine gets ahead and behind his man as Josh Brooks begins to clip his way through the pack, getting past number 34 Alistair Seeley on the second of the relentless Taz Suzukis into Tower Bends round the outside. So the Australian former champion moves through, and then Seeley rattled, crushed in the complex, and so too, after setting his fastest lap, does the experienced Michael Rutter. Pauli Pekkanen hits problems on bike number 77 and is lapped by Tommy Hill, number 33. And then number 2, James Ellison, running strongly in 3rd place. He's got a front tyre puncture. He has to pull out as Michael Laverty is left to launch a last lap assault on Tommy Hill. Hill protects the inside line, and then it's the race for the line between the 2 Suzukis. And Michael Laverty straight lines it, but can't quite nick the advantage from race leader Tommy Hill. So Tommy Hill wins first time out in the shootout.
And we are here with our third place finisher, James Hillier, in the mirror.co.uk Evo class race. James, good race for you out there, but I understand you're suffering from a bit of arm pump.
Yeah, I'd really had to dig deep at the end there, and I didn't make it easy. Got a really bad start, and the safety car I was last man round, and certainly wasn't easy, but I dug deep and we got there. You know, it's podium first time out, it's good, can't grumble with that.
Definitely not a great 16 points. We'll let you go to the podium because time is pushing on. Hopefully see you in the next one.
Thank you, cheers.
There we go then, James Hillier from Bournemouth Kawasaki. Second place finisher Steve Brogan. Well, Steve, you're out there, you've had a bit of a torrid weekend, we must say, been down the track. How was it for you?
Yeah, just a little bit beaten up from Friday's crash, and that's not really the great problem. The problem that we're having is obviously I'm a session behind everybody else because the one and only dry session we had in practice I missed out through the crash, so I'm kind of just playing catch up with my bike setup. Obviously in the race there my setup was a mile out, so we're making some big changes for race 2 and hopefully a little bit of a better grip position and get away better off the start and give Hudson a bit of a run in the second one. But 20 points more on the board, and big thanks to the team for repairing the bike because it wasn't looking too good after it hit the crash barriers.
Always worth saying thank you to the mechanics. We'll let you go to the podium. Steve, well done on the second place.
Cheers, Tony.
Steve Brogan there, our second place finisher in our race winner, Hudson Kenner. Hudson, nice to see you back on top of the podium. How was it for you?
Awesome. I mean, it's awesome for the team after the shenanigans at Cadwell. You know, I didn't watch the interview because I was already driving home, putting my dummy up. But supposedly Steve was, boisterous as usual. So nice to just, kick his ass basically. And nice for the boys. I think it's lifted the spirit. Everyone's really excited. Good for Aprilia. Awesome for the team, and to come back the way we have. I mean, it reminds us. Reminds me a little bit of the A team. Accused of a crime we didn't commit. Dun, 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 dun.
You've got to love Hudson Kenner. He's always got something to say, as has this man, Stuart Easton, third place finisher in the Superbike race proper. Stuart, how was the race for you out there? Looked like you and James were having, your teammate James having a good tussle.
Yeah, we had a good early on. I was sort of just about sticking with Michael and James, and James had a puncture on the front, so he is unfortunate with that, and obviously Michael slid off at the hairpin and I got through for a podium. But I mean, I'll take it either way because I've worked hard for it, and I've struggled recently for quite a long time, and the team stood by me, and K-Tech suspension, I've worked really hard, and all the team at Swan Honda, so it's thanks to them for sticking by me.
Nice to see the resurgent Stuart Easton. We'll let you go to the podium. Well done on the third place.
Thank you. Cheers.
Stuart Easton then from Swan Honda. Second place finisher Michael Laverty. Well, Michael, Tommy Hill started coming back towards you towards the end of that race, and I guess up until the final hairpin, you thought it was game on.
Yeah, for sure. The middle of the race, I was trying to figure a bit out. I was weak in the middle section. I was just trying to figure out where I could improve it, and I couldn't get it. So then I just had to push in the other areas where I was strong, just to try and get back to Tommy and get back onto him. The last 2 laps I was trying to size up where I could make a move, but he covered all the doors in the last lap, and especially the last hairpin. I didn't expect him to go that tight, so I had to just try and run out round the outside and try and beat him to the line. But it was a close fought race, but there's always race 2.
Absolutely, race 2 to come. Good 20 points. We'll let you go to the podium. Well done.
Yeah, thank you very much.
There we go then, Michael Laverty from Relentless by Taz Suzuki. Tommy Hill, OK, let's make this short and sweet. First blood to Hill.
Does that mean I can't thank my sponsors?
Thank who you want, but make it quick.
Well, actually, I've got a list here. No, maybe at the end of the season. But yeah, great start to the Showdown part of the championship. I felt comfortable at the beginning. I just wanted to chip away, and I felt like I could lead the race. But the last lap, I knew I was going to lose a lot of time because I was protecting my lines. And I was walking around the track with my brother on Thursday, and we were sizing up, seeing where people would make a move and where to protect the lines. And I was thinking about that the last lap, where me and my brother were chatting and where they can make moves and stuff, and I protected all the lines, luckily. A bit too tight out the last hairpin and spinning up to the start-finish, but just. So we'll see. We made some major changes for warm-up, and then we resorted back to our original setup for the weekend, and seemed to have worked, but yeah, maybe a few tweaks here and there for race 2.
Look forward to it. Well done, Tommy.
Thanks very much. Cheers. Cheers, mate.
There we go then, Tommy Hill from Works President Suzuki, the man who takes first blood in the Showdown. He's off to the podium, and Jack will take us through it.